Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been so long and I'm so happy to be filming again. Tell me why the setup takes so long. Like it took me an hour to get set up, but also because I haven't filmed a video in this house. Last time I posted, I was in an apartment, but my cute little dresser is in the back. This is pretty much done. I just need to get a mirror, which I already ordered and it's coming at the end of March. So you guys will see that hopefully soon. And this mirror I want to get rid of. It's too modern. It fit my apartment aesthetic really well, but in this house I'm going for like a more modern traditional look. I also got a haircut. I went really short, and actually my hair was even shorter before this, but basically I was getting sick of long hair. The last time I had short hair was 2019, and since then I was just growing it out. Like, I didn't enjoy having long hair anymore. It just felt so overwhelming. And really heavy because my hair is so thick, and I love to tie my hair up in a ponytail because I love it to just be out of my face, but every time I would do that it was just so heavy. And my goal for cutting my hair short was really to like stop, I don't know, hiding behind my hair, because I feel like a lot of girls hide behind their hair, and I started kind of feeling like that. You know, when you don't have hair to hide behind, yeah, you just feel more exposed, I guess. And honestly, I think it's a bit of character development that I needed, so that's great. I do have my window open because it was getting kind of stuffy in my room even though it's winter and there's snow outside. It just snowed a ton yesterday. This is the second bout of snow we've had in Virginia. So yeah, and if you hear water in the back, I live on a lake, so there is the sound of water constantly, but I also thought it would be really nice to have as a background in the video. I kind of have to like smash this to get it to come out because otherwise it doesn't, because it's laying on its side. So I'm gonna use like that much. I'm just gonna go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade Fawn. And honestly, I barely use any foundation these days. Like, that's all I'm gonna use. I also have a fresh beauty blender, and actually something else cool that I have that I wanted to show you guys is this e.l.f. color corrector. This is a blue color corrector. And I've been using this. I just like have been putting a few blue dots because this foundation is a teensy bit orange for me. A blue color corrector helps to neutralize some of that oranginess and make it more green, which is what I need because I am an olive girl, which is also why I have such a hard time finding foundation matches. I probably could have even used more because it's still kind of feeling a little orange. Do kind of some bigger dots this time, so we can see. I haven't used this that much. I've only used it a couple times, so. I definitely feel like it looks less orange. So I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown corrector. This is an OG. Y'all already know me and her. We've been through it. Good times and bad. I literally remember buying my first one of those in high school. Now I'm gonna do concealer, and I only have 2 concealers at the moment. I think last time I talked to you guys I only had this one, which is the Fit Glow concealer, and I really like this. However, it is very much like an eye cream almost. Like, I think there's actually a full jar of eye cream in here. I think that's something that they tout as like one of the selling points of this. But when I hit Diamond at Ulta, I got a free Diamond gift. So I got Shape Tape Concealer because that was one of the options, and I have the shade Light Medium Sand, and I've really been liking this. So I think I'm actually going to use this today. So let's give it a whirl. So I'm just going to put like a little bit here, and Shape Tape is really pigmented and it dries really fast too. It's low-key if Double Wear was a concealer. Honestly, that's pretty accurate. And I never used Shape Tape before this. Like, even when it was really popular back in the good old days. I never used it. I always used, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. The one that's in a really big bottle that looks like a foundation. That one. And because of the way I blend concealer like all the way up into here, I have to just take it on my eyelid. Otherwise it looks weird. But that's fine because we're going to put eyeshadow on top of it anyway. Something that I've been doing recently, which is really fun, is Well, I got the inspiration to do this particular thing from Alexa Chan on YouTube. I love her channel and I'm like addicted to her videos. It's basically, it's ASMR without trying to be ASMR. Her skin is so beautiful and she just does such fun makeup looks, and she always talks about vintage stuff. Like she loves vintage stuff from like the 50s. So something that she said she'd been doing recently is watching old movies, and she said that one of them was Brewster's Millions, which is literally one of my favorite movies because when I was a kid my dad actually put me onto that movie. He showed it to me and my sisters and we were like, this is amazing. But recently I watched it again and I was like, I just had like a whole new appreciation for it. It's such a good movie. It's basically about a guy who is left like a settlement by a relative who had passed away, but there's like a challenge that comes with the money. Basically he can get 1 million on that day and walk away, or he can get 30 million by spending 30 million in 30 days. So he chooses to spend the 30 million in 30 days. He can't like buy gifts for other people. He can't buy something just to return it. There's like a lot of rules that come with it that make it a little bit hard. And then another movie she said she watched is Another Man's Poison, which is actually free on Prime. So I would highly recommend you go watch it on Prime. And it's about, I think her name is Betty Davis. I don't know if it's Bette Davis or Betty Davis, but she was great in the movie. Basically, it's about her, and she kills her husband because she said he's abusive. Someone comes into her house looking for her husband and finds out that he's dead and starts to like cosplay as her husband and threatens that if you don't let me, you know, cosplay as your husband and just be in your house and assume the role of your husband, that I'm going to tell everyone that he's actually dead. And her husband was originally on like a business trip for years, so people haven't seen him in a long time and they almost like forgot what he looks like, which is why this guy's able to come in and assume his identity. She's just trying to kill him the whole movie. So it's a little morbid and the storyline is so interesting. Last night I watched another movie. It's called Witness of the Prosecution, and this is a 50s movie. Basically it's about a lawyer, prestigious lawyer, and he takes on this case where a guy is accused of killing an older lady for her money. It's just really interesting because there are so many twists and turns in the movie. I don't want to spoil it, so I can't say too much, but it's literally like kind of one of the best movies I've ever watched. I would have never expected that, but it was really good. I watched it with my mom and she usually doesn't like what I'm watching, but she was like tuned in and I was like, this is really good, isn't it? Like halfway through the movie I was like, why is this so good? And she was like, yeah, it actually is really good. And there's this really funny character, Miss Plimsoll, who is his nurse because he just got discharged from the, well, she says he was expelled from the hospital. But basically he's, you know, his health is declining, but he, you know, always wants to work and he loves what he does. And so she's so funny because she tries to keep getting him to take breaks and like, you know, take his medicine at the right time and have a nap, and he's just constantly like evading her. Like it's so funny. The storyline is really good. Most of it takes place in the courtroom. It was literally one of the best movies I've seen in a while. And for my brows, I just used Benefit Gimme Brow, and I use the darkest shade, which is 5. Okay, so let's move on to the eyes. I already know what I'm doing for my eyes, so it should be relatively quick. I'm mixing a neutral brown and a gray shadow to kind of cool it down. And I realized that like that's a thing that you can do, is mix eyeshadows. And it makes your eyeshadow collection stretch so far. So I've been taking the Dior Quint, and this is New Look. The shadow that I like to mix it with is by Lethal Cosmetics, and I don't actually know the name, so let me see. Okay, it's called Kindlewood, and it looks like this. And it's just a neutral brown. And the shadow that I'm mixing it with is this one. So what I like to do is just literally go like 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And then I tap off the excess, and I just kind of stamp the brush first and get it placed where I want it to be. I just keep going in like circular motions, and then once it kind of starts to get diffused, I will start blending it onto the rest of my lid. And I kind of take it like halfway into my eye because the concealer on the lid acts like a shadow. Like it almost looks like I put a really pale eyeshadow there. And I've been like moving away from perfection in my makeup because it's literally just not humanly possible to be perfect. And you know, I'm coming to terms with that slowly. I am a perfectionist, so it's pretty difficult. Nothing is ever really that serious, and I just keep trying to tell myself that. So if it's not perfect, it's okay. This is a Morphe M519. I actually used to use this for nose contour when I cared about nose contour, but I don't anymore, so it just kind of laments in my brush holder. Oh my god, can we talk about Wicked? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was absolutely speechless. If you guys don't know, I'm an Ari stan through and through. I have been since like the Yours Truly era, where she started putting out like Problem and Break Free. Girl, Wicked was everything I wanted it to be and more. She was flawless as Glinda, absolutely flawless. No notes. I saw it twice in the theater, and then I also bought it on Prime, so I can just watch it whenever I want now. And I already watched it once at home, so. Cynthia Erivo's voice is like not from this world. Like, she's too good. Like, she's literally too good. My favorite Broadway Elfie is Mary-Kate Morrissey. I saw her and Alexandra Socha as Glinda like last year in April, but I've seen like other Elfies on YouTube and none of them give what MK gives. And I know that's a strong opinion because everyone is obsessed with Jessica Vosk. Mary-Kate Morrissey's, she also brings that depth to Elfie where it feels like this is a person, not a character. Like a background story, like a childhood, like a life before she was on this stage. I feel like that when I watch Mary-Kate Morrissey's Elphaba, but I don't feel like that when I watch other Elphabas. Like, it looks like it's a performance. Do you get what I'm saying? When I mean depth, I also mean the depth of her voice. Like, it's not to say that her voice is deep, but it's very round and open, whereas I feel like Elfie is always, especially on Broadway, categorized as being very sharp and witchy. Cynthia kind of showed that like you don't have to be sharp and witchy and sound like the Wicked Witch of the West from, you know, the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz movie to be witchy. Like, for example, I feel like Jessica Vosk takes the witchy sound a little too far. Like, it's in every line in Defying Gravity, and I'm just like, I know you're a witch already. I don't want to hear it constantly by the way that you're pronouncing your words. But like Mary-Kate Morrissey, like, she sounds witchy at the right parts. In the movie, I thought that Cynthia did a really good job of giving us that same thing and just making it feel like Elphaba is a person, not a character. It just felt so real. Alright, the eyeshadow is done. What I do now is just mascara. I've been kind of foregoing eyeliner. But yeah, Ari in Wicked was absolutely perfect. I'm so happy she was Glinda. I can't see anyone else who auditioned doing such a good job. Maybe Dove Cameron, but I don't know. I think Ari brought something special, and I think everyone knows that, which is why it has, you know, received the acclaim and success that it has. No One Mourns the Wicked literally slayed my life. Like, I wasn't the same after watching No One Mourns the Wicked for the first time in the theater. After watching that and after watching Defying Gravity in the theater, I was not the same person. So now what I've been liking to do to kind of juxtapose the coolness on the eyes is using an orangey blush and having kind of like a warmer lip. I got 4 new blushes recently. You guys, I'm kind of going crazy, but it had just been so long since I had bought makeup, and I bought these like a month ago, so they're not so new, but you guys haven't seen them. Like, I spent a couple $100 on all this stuff, and now I feel like I'm literally set for a couple years. I go through periods where I don't buy any makeup, like years. Maybe I buy like one lip product, or, you know, a concealer if it runs out, or a foundation if it runs out. And then I don't buy anything for like years. Like, after, you know, not having bought makeup for so long, I was like, I need a refresh. So I went and got some stuff that I really have been wanting for a long time. It was also all on sale, better believe it. So I was like, this is the perfect time. I got these 2 Lancome blushes. So the first one is called Mocha Havana Shimmer. I got a compliment when I wore this at work. My coworker's like, your makeup looks so pretty. I was like, thank you. So then this is Miel Glacé, and they look very similar in the pan, but they're really not. Oh, that's a pretty accurate read of the color right there. So yeah, this one is Miel Glacé, this is Mocha Havana Shimmer. So you can see this one is a little more orange. And then I got Dior Charnelle blush, which I have been wanting for so long. Also, I got Miel Glacé and Mocha Havana Shimmer for, like, as a recommendation from Hannah Louise Poston, who I'm obsessed with. You already know this. She talked about these in, like, at the very beginning of her channel, and I always had them, like, noted down and, like, in my Ulta wish list. And I went in store and I swatched them so many times and I just never bought them, and I was like, that's it, I'm doing it. And then this one, Dior Charnelle, is a recommendation from Michelle Wong. She gives the best makeup recommendations. Like, I feel like her routine is so realistic and so, like, everyday person. But she just focuses on quality, things that are easy to use and like nice to look at. So this is Dior Charnelle. It's like a pinky warm nude. As a gift, my family and we all did Secret Santa over the holidays. So I got this shade Happy from Rare Beauty, which I've actually been wanting for a while. And luckily they just happened to pick this shade for me. It's a gorgeous light pink. I don't have anything like this. I think the closest thing that I have is this Fenty Cream Blush. And it's this pink side, but even then, like, they're different. They're really different pinks. Like, you can see how, like, fluorescent this one is, and this one is more natural. Yeah, it's a little more muted, too, which I really am happy about. Just going to apply this. And I've also been applying my blush differently. If you go back to my videos, like, a year or two ago, you will see that, like, I literally put my blush, like, up here, like, on my cheekbone. And that was, like, a huge trend, you know? Like, it was the thing to do. So, and I think it has its place, like it looks nice. It is pretty editorial, I'm not gonna lie. And you'll notice also how I didn't use any powder because it's winter, and Shape Tape and Double Wear don't really need to be set, they kind of just set by themselves. So that's the blush. I really don't use highlighter, I don't use bronzer these days either. So let's just get into lips. One of the combos that I've been liking to do is NYX's Nude Truffle. She's getting small, but I need to swatch the OG Nude Truffle against the new Nude Truffle that's in Ulta right now, because I know they changed the colors, but I don't know how different they really are, and I haven't gone to test it out, which I really need to do, because if I can't use her anymore, we're in trouble. I want to go a little bit more orangey on the lips, so what I'm thinking of doing is actually using Taupe from MAC, or even Marrakesh maybe. So they all look the same. Oh, here's Taupe. And this is Chili. This would actually be super cute if I was going for a bold lip. But some of these I just don't even like I wish I didn't buy this one, Go Retro. It's too mauve, pink, berry, but I was going crazy at this time. Warm Teddy is nice. Cafe Mocha is nice, but here's Marrakesh. So let's compare Marrakesh and Taupe. So here's Taupe. A cute orangey neutral vibe. And here's Marrakesh. Way brighter. Okay, let's not do that one. And this is also a color that looks good without any lip liner, which is part of the reason I bought it, because sometimes you just want to put on a lipstick and go. Oh yeah. This is exactly what I wanted. And when I'm looking at it in the camera, it looks really nice. In real life, I feel like the lip is a little dark. So I actually am going to go in with Nude Look on top, just to lighten it a little. But we still have the base color from Chili. I mean, from Taupe. I think that's actually really nice. I like it. It made it a little bit lighter. But alone, I think this would have been too light for what I was going for. A little right here. Bring some life back into the face. A bit more natural. And whenever I put mascara on my bottom lashes, I always kind of like pinch it off, because really what I just want is the color. I don't want it to, you know, actually make my lashes longer, because my bottom lashes are already really long and it just looks freaky sometimes. And normally if I was going out, I would do setting spray, but because I'm just gonna keep this on for a couple hours and then wash it off, I'm not going to. But another thing I do want to use up is this setting spray, because this is my habit. I get scared that this is going to end up spraying out all wonky, so I open the new one, and now I'm almost done with this and I have another new one, but I don't want to open that one before this is finished. So what I really should do is just tip the bottle to the side and use it, but And if I were to use a powder, it would have been Hourglass or this one size one, which I got as like a free sample from Sephora, and I freaking love it. Like, girl, I might get this one after I'm done with the Hourglass powder, which is gonna be for like another millennia because this thing is huge. So I just had to use a Q-tip to get the mascara off of my eyelid, and I'm going back in with a beauty blender, and whatever concealer or foundation is left on the tip, I'm just gonna go over that part because it like wiped off some of the concealer base that we laid down. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.